In this video, we're going to discuss place values. Typically, even with adding and subtracting, I like to take a note piece of paper that's lined, and I like to turn it the other way. Okay, so that your lines are going up and down. They're going vertical, okay? Now, with place values and learning them, I want us to first start off by putting a decimal, okay, in the middle of our paper in one of the boxes, okay? Now, going down the order to the left, we're going to go the colors of the rainbow. Now, I don't have orange, so we're not going to use an orange, okay? So, in the lines between, I'm going to go red, okay? Next, we're going to do yellow. Green. Light blue. Blue. And purple. Okay. Now, starting off to know the place values, it's a very easy way of doing this. Let's first by putting in a number 1 where it would be to the decimal. 1. Making this our 1's place value. Next, if I were to make the number 10, it would be my 1 and my 0. Wherever that 1 is going to be the place value for the number that we say it is. So this would be 10. Okay, because I have my 10 there. Next one would be hundreds. Okay. Next, we go to thousands. Then we have 10,000. Just now I ran out of room. Clearly we can see that. Okay. Now, these are pretty easy because we've learned how to count up to the hundreds. We've been able to see this amount before. But what we necessarily may not have been able to see is the numbers to the right of the decimal and what those place values are called. So, an easy way to kind of look at this and remember this. My line between my decimal and my 1 spot, I'm going to fold my paper. Okay. And using a line paper, it's going to be pretty easy because you already have your line there. I know you're probably wondering, how can this be easy? We just folded a paper, that's all. If I were to fold my paper back, okay? Now this is kind of like lines of symmetry, okay? We'll get into that later in geometry. But right now, if I were to fold my paper, okay, my decimal and my red line would match up. So then, going out farther, this line would match up with my yellow line. So let's go ahead and make that yellow. Then that means the third line would match up with the green. And then my light blue with my light blue. Then next comes the dark blue. And then my purple. Okay, now this is kind of reading numbers backwards a little bit. Okay, if I were to have the number 10, that would be my tens place value. There is no ones place value because that's where our decimal is. So we're not even going to consider a ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and in our yellow write tens. But I have two tens, one on each side of the decimal. That's not right. There's a trick. Every place value to the right of the decimal ends in a THS. Okay? So that makes this tenths. THS. The 10th spot. If our green is 100, that makes this the 100th spot. Okay. Then this would make this the 1000th spot. Okay. Now, when you're saying these, make sure you emphasize the THS afterwards so someone knows if you're talking about the tens place or the 10th place. It makes a difference when it comes to numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's think we'll practice with a number. Okay, let's go 42.16. Okay, this may be a little hard, but we can use our colors with it. Okay, I remember the colors of the rainbow. So my red is my ones. Next is my yellow, because remember I don't have orange. Okay, and that's my 10 spot. Okay. Now to the other side, if I use my red, it would go where that decimal is. But since I use that as a decimal spot, I don't use a color. Okay, so my 1 would be yellow, and that would be the 10th. Okay, with the TH at the end. Okay, then my 6 would be green, and this would be my 100ths. With my TH. Remember, the TH represents that it's to the right of the decimal. So if I were to write this out in words and or say it, it would be 42. We don't say point, we say and. So 42 and 16. And wherever my last spot is what I'm going to put. 1600ths. Remembering that THS at the end. Okay, let's try 2 more. It's okay to use the colors if you need them. Okay, Many people do these. These are tools that help you, and there's nothing wrong with using tools. There's also nothing wrong with asking for help. Many people have to go to their bosses and ask for help. So make sure you always ask your teacher and or a parent if you need help. Okay. And no, I did not set that up to look like a stop sign. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I've got my 1 in the 100 spot. So 123. My decimal, and 4 tenths, because it is my tenths place value. 123 and 4 tenths with the THS afterwards. Okay. One last one. My number to the left of the decimal is 41. And for my decimal, now look at this. I have 326. Where that number ends is where I'm going to put the place value. But I'm still going to say 326 thousandths. I'm going to use a comma because if I say that word and, it means there's another decimal. And we don't have 2 decimals or any more than 1 decimal in a number. Now remember, after that whole number, I put my place value. Thousandths with my THS.